Mrs. Thatcher says there has never been a fifth man, but there will be shortly if Dennis doesn't improve. Crowds flock to the Queen's Art Gallery in London. And Mr. Brezhnev says he's so disgusted with the whole affair, he's sending back his OBE.
Mrs. Thatcher revealed in the House of Commons today that a man called Sir Alec Douglas Hume was Prime Minister for several years in the 60s. The Queen, who was never told, has since stripped him of his mantle. Strongly criticising the Tory credit squeeze, Mr. Callaghan said that this Christmas will be the coldest, most miserable, poverty-stricken holiday since the one our grandparents endured at the turn of the year. Following the report that Tony Blackburn has lost 2.5 stones recently, his agent says that he's now lost his catapult as well. And Prince Charles demonstrated this afternoon how John Bindon was able to support 5 pints of beer on his penis. Sorry, his person. And in part 2, a normal Tuesday in Mystique. And the auditions for Ted Kennedy's new chauffeur.
Mr. Atkinson?
Yes?
Yes. Did you sign a petition to save the whale, Governor?
Yes. Yes, I did.
OK, Jack. This is the place.
Friday night, Saturday morning, but yesterday's gone, there's a weekend dawning. Friday night, Saturday morning at last. Pack up your troubles then, Monday's the day for them. Oh, it's time to relax again. Friday night, Saturday morning at last.
Hail Murray! Where are we? Earth. This is it? This is Earth, yeah. I hate it. Murray, don't start. I could never be happy here. We're not exactly planning to stay. Find Keith Joseph, pull his plugs, and home. Is this he? No, this is something else. Is Keith Joseph the one hiding his balloon? No, this is what humans do to make babies. Wow, look at them go! They're getting faster and faster. Yeah, this is standard. This is really something. Good Lord, look, she's almost fallen off the... Way! Gone! Is that it? It is over. So where are the babies? You have to wait 9 months for the babies. So what was all the hurry at the end?
That was an excerpt from the controversial and some would say scurrilous new British picture, The General Synod's Life of Christ. The film deals with the rise to fame and greatness of a humble carpenter's son named Jesus Christ. But many people have seen in the film a thinly disguised and blasphemous attack on the life of Monty Python. Python worshippers claim the film sets out to ridicule by parody the actual members of Monty Python, men who even today are worshipped and revered throughout the Western world. Now, Alexander Walker, what did you think of the picture?
Well, I was appalled. I mean, I actually find it deeply offensive. that in a country that is still ostensibly a python-worshipping country, that a 14-year-old child can actually get in to see this film. I mean, there is little enough proper python around these days without parading this distorted garbage about.
Bishop, you directed the film. Did you expect this kind of reaction?
Well, I certainly didn't expect the Spanish Inquisition.
It's a bit cheap, isn't it?
Yes, I did direct the film, and I feel as though I must emphasize at this stage that it is not about Python.
Oh, come on.
I'm not a Pythonist. I'm not a Pythonist myself, but obviously I have a tremendous amount of respect for people like Alexander, who are...
Oh, come now. Now, come now, Bishop. I mean, the leading figure in this film, what is it? Jesus Christ. I mean, it's quite clearly a lampoon of the comic messiah himself, our Lord John Cleese. I mean, well, come on, I mean, even the initials, JC, are exactly the same.
I must explain. I must explain to you, the Christ figure is not Cleese.
Oh, come on.
No, he's just an ordinary man who happens to have been born in Weston-super-Mare at the same time as Mr. Cleese.
Jonathan, you know as well as I do.
He is mistaken for the comic messiah himself by vast crowds of people who follow him about, doing silly walks,
You're underestimating your public.
shouting, no, not the comfy chair, and other slogans from the good box.
No, I'm sorry, Jonathan, whatever you say, this film is a highly distasteful one. I mean, have people forgotten how Monty Python suffered for us?
I know.
How often the sketches failed? I mean, these men died for us, frequently.
Bishop, perhaps you feel that the film deteriorates the spiritual side of Monty Python.
Not at all. Not at all.
Well, I
It
disagree.
can't.
I disagree.
I mean, if Python is immortal, as Pythonists believe, then I can't believe that a mere film
A 10th-rate film.
could put them off. I mean, in the words of John Cleese, whenever 2 or 3 are gathered together in one place, then they shall perform the parrot sketch.
It is an ex-parrot.
It has ceased to be.
Indeed. Well, Alexander Walker, the final scene of the picture has attracted the most attention.
Right, well, I mean, now here, I think we have the ultimate blasphemy. I mean, it is set in a hotel in Torquay, where literally hundreds of Spanish waiters are being clipped about the ear by this Jesus Christ bloke. It is obviously a lampoon of the comic messiah's greatest half
It's
hour.
not at all. The point, it's Torbay.
Thank you both
Oh,
very
come on,
much
Torbay,
indeed.
Torquay. I mean,
Bishop,
we're quibbling, aren't we?
Alexander Walker, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much. I mean, Jonathan,
We
really...
take a break now for some explicit sex, thinly disguised as choreography.
Disco dancing is the new sensation. It's the new way to relax, enjoy yourself, and pull girls. But it hasn't worked for everybody. Do you feel deprived? Do girls just pass you by? Perhaps this is the way you dress on the dance floor. Is this the way you move on the dance floor? Then you need help, and it's here. Let Daytel's new book, Disco Dancing for Dentists, transform. This book will teach you the delights of bodily contortion beyond your wildest dreams. We work your body limb by limb, allowing each limb to develop a mind of its own. Watch your head begin to live a separate life from your neck. Your torso, previously so static, will begin to take over your body in a way you never thought possible, until you can slither across the dance floor deadly as a rattlesnake. At the same time, your legs, once submissive and purely supportive elements of your body, will give you the maneuvering powers of a frog, a feature particularly attractive to the fairer sex. Finally, your arms, always the most expressive of your limbs, will take over your body completely, teaching you, encouraging you, exciting you, stimulating you to learn more about yourself and your body and the way it can be used. The experience of this book is quite exhilarating. Buy now, and your attitude to the dance floor will never be the same again.
Reports are coming in of license dodgers among the viewing public. If you haven't got a license, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to cut you off until we get some cash. We are accepting telephone pledges, so please phone 749-5854 if your screen is blacking out now. That's 749-5854. Please call now. And we've got sound back. Thank you very much, Mrs. McGilvery, from all of us here at BBC Two Radio, as it is now. Hello? Great. Thank you very much. A £500 pledge from Mr. Wigmore in Slough, and his generosity returns you to BBC colour in black and white. There will be another £500 for colour, and as an added incentive, we're going to give a free puppy to the first caller. And if you don't call within 10 seconds, we'll shoot the puppy. Hello? No, we've already got a gun, thanks. Hello? Oh, good, fine, thank you very much. And so, colour returns, courtesy of the Mao Chong Chinese Eat Here or Throw Away restaurant. And now it's just another 40 million quid, and we'll give you ITV too.
Good evening. It is a great delight to be here tonight, a great joy to be back in England with all your beautiful English men, with whom I like sleeping a great deal. I was told an alarming but very funny joke the other day. What is green, red, and travels at 60 miles per hour? A frog in a Kenwood mixer. Ha, 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 ha. But enough of that. I wish to talk to you tonight on the subject of heart surgery. Excuse me while I put on my glasses. Ah, that's better. At least 4 hours before the operation, the patient must be fully knocked out. When on the table, we start by taking a scalpel sort of thing, something like that, and cutting in slices from the, neck really, down to the, what is it, technical term for navel, a prenatal knot. Then insert a, literal translation, a sacrificial dagger. Must be a better word than that. Anyway, take the sacrificial dagger, shove it in, and then try to knot up the macaroni-shaped thing, sort of fan belt affair. Well, there's something in there loose anyway, so tie a knot in it. Then scoop out the bouillon. Oh God. Something to do with raw meat, Turkish delight, KY jelly, that kind of thing. In order to stop it forming, happens to cream. Very stupid people. Clots. That's right. Then take a kind of tissue thing, sanitary towel over the, I just told you, lardy, squidgy sort of jelly sort of stuff, and then we'll grab this thing and slice, sever, tear out, emasculate the same word as the inside of a haggis. Yes. Then, that done, put back in, whatever it was you took out, sew it up, and, hey presto, the job is done. Sometimes you find that the patient is already dead. But as you say in English, c'est la vie. Thank you. Thank
you. Good evening. I'm a famous English actor, and I've come here tonight to this church to talk about my new series. You see, the thing I really like about these English churches are the amazing walls, the magnificent ceilings, and the floors. But most of all, perhaps it's the great echoing vaults which allow me to go right over the top. In here, for example, it really is amazing how you can hang on to a word like pre-Byzantine before you begin to sound like a complete tit. And as the series goes on, I'll be getting to bigger and bigger churches and more complicated words. Words like crenellations. That's a good one, isn't it? And baroque. That's even better. Thank you. Finally, of course, the most important thing about this series is that I'll be getting away from that wretched, screeching American comedian.
Hello, I'm Mel.
I'm Chris. Hi.
Welcome to Self-Defense.
Today, when will your attacker strike? Mel.
Well, I can't know that, Chris.
Exactly.
Good point. So, be prepared where it counts. On the street, in the pub, or even at home.
Right. How do we begin, Mel?
Well, Chris, let's begin with unarmed combat.
Right. I'm you, minding your own business at a party. Suddenly, you're picked on by a violent drunk. Mel.
You're laughing at me. You liar. I don't even talk to poofs.
Show him that you're too cool to be provoked.
I'll show you bloody martial arts, Jimmy.
I don't need all that rough talk, Chief.
Are you talking to me?
Anticipating the moment of attack.
Not yet. Sorry.
Exploit your opponent's momentum, converting a trip and a throw out of his attack. Okay, now let's see what that really looks like.
Hey! Hey!
Ow.
Okay, well, now it's your turn, Chris.
Right, this time let's give the assailant a knife.
Yes, and we'll show you how to take it away from him. Okay, come at me with that knife, Chris.
Right.
No, come at me. Properly, come on.
The shout's really good.
No, really, come
Blood. The most important commodity you possess. Don't hoard it. Give it. Yes, we need your blood. Desperately. Help us.
That was an appeal on behalf of the 4 main clearing banks.
Are you a spy?
No.
Okay.
Are you a spy?
What? Why do you ask me? Do I look like a spy?
No, not particularly.
Exactly. Have you seen any spies recently?
What are you talking about?
Well, I might ask you the same question.
Look, I have to go. It's late.
Oh. When was it meant to be here?
No. I have to go because it's late.
Oh, okay. I'll stay and keep an eye out for it.
For what?
So they didn't tell you either. Fiendishly clever. It's the same old story. 2 men meet in a prearranged pub, exchange a few desultory words in code, and the very next morning one of them is found brutally murdered in the market square of a small Czechoslovakian village with a radish rammed up his behind. Beware.
Yeah?
Have you got something about that long? Sort of that thick. Made of wax.
Yeah?
Well, you better light it, then we're cutting your electricity off.
Human waste is one of the world's richest sources of methane, and yet
What do? We throw it away. Literally. This country could be self-supporting in crude within a year if we were only to follow one simple rule. Save it. The British have always had it in them in a crisis, and British technology now leads the world in methane conversion machinery. Yes, here it is. The product of a collaboration between the finest minds at both Honda and Leyland. The frame, engineering and radio are Japanese, but all the porcelain and enamelware are British. It's called the Poped, and it goes something like this. So it flaps away, and with a bit of luck... Ah, good.
Well, my boy, I'm really not sure what to suggest. Your form master's assessment describes you as a dissolute waster, a liar, a deceiver, a cheat, a dirty-minded little commie who fiddles with other boys in the changing room. I'm afraid your career options are pretty limited.
Oh. So?
I'm afraid it's the Queen's household for you, young clerks.
I see you every night in my dreams. Your face so supple and so chewy. My pillow is wet with teary streams. Fall into the carpet, making it dewy. Oh, Bosom Kay, why did you go away? Oh, Bosom Kay. Why did you leave me this way? Oh, Bosom Kay. And now it's only minutes till 10 o'clock. I sit here in my TV chair. In half an hour, I'll switch over old cock. But Reggie, darling, you won't be there. Oh, Reggie, let me call you by your first name. Oh, Reggie, should I hold myself to blame? Don't blame yourself. Oh, Reginald, if only I had loved you more, maybe you wouldn't have shut the door. If only I'd written to say how I adore you. Oh, Reggie. Oh, Reggie. You know something? All news is bad news since you went away. Oh, Reggie, I miss you, honest I do. Oh, Reggie.
In the air! In the air! Come on, keep them up! All right. Right now, nobody moves, nobody gets hurt, all right? 3 10-penny stamps, please.